Okay, another video. I've come inside the greenhouse because it's blowing a hoolie out there. It's really windy today. We're on the 7th of June today, and we're going to do some tubs. And the baskets are going out in Truro. They've been going out last week. These are the baskets. Just have a look. And we've got this one here. This is a half round, and this will go on a pole, and another one will go behind it, making a, funnily enough, full round. And these are Reservoirs Baskets. So they've got a reservoir down there and a little hole up here. You fill the hole, water comes out these little holes here, the reservoir is full, and then like a wick, it feeds and waters these plants from the reservoir within. It lasts about 3 days and looks lovely in Truro. These are Petunia saphinia in here, and there's 3 plants, that's all that's in there. And these will probably trail down about 3 feet over the summer months and look beautiful, and they don't really need deadheading as either. That's a great thing when they're, I don't know, 15 foot in the air and we haven't got many tall people working in Truro. So that's them. We've got good old-fashioned Fuchsia Baskets as well. They're going into more shady areas in Truro. They seem to be fine in more shady areas, and that's one called Swing Time. I don't know if you can see that one. Lovely white and red fuchsia. And again, this has got 3 plants in. These 3 plants were put in a multi-purpose compost, and they were put in there early March, before lockdown. Put in a greenhouse, they've been pinched out quite a lot. Pinching out means you take the end tip out to increase sidewards growth. So that's those. And then of course we've got the ones in the main street here. There's about 12 plants in there, rather big baskets, got a reservoir in as well. That'll last about 3 days between watering. But I'm not going to talk about baskets, I'm going to talk about planters, tubs, things for your patio. And this is an old recycled plastic pot. It's all right. We're really picking through the end of the things here in Truro, so I'm going to make it up with what I can find around here. And as you can see, there's a good few things here. But this plastic pot here has got 4 holes drilled in the bottom, and that's for drainage. But what happens if you just put compost in there, the compost will bung the holes up and stop the water flowing freely from it. So you see it quite a lot. People will get a terracotta plot and smash it up and put that on the bottom for drainage. But I'm going to use some gravel, as we've got an old path there which is actually going to be removed, and I'm going to put that in there. So you've got the holes in the bottom, you've got about 2.5 inches of gravel on that, and that just stops the compost here just seeping through and blocking those holes up. Also a note, if you've got a patio or something like that and you're going to put it on there, you want to put little feet underneath so you don't block those holes up from underneath. Make sure it can flow through and get the water through. All plants in pots, they need moisture, but the roots also need air. And with a pot, the plant has only got what you give it. It can't send the roots out searching for things like you can in the open ground. It can only have what you give it here. So we have to put everything into place so that we have a good performance for the summer season. So we're going to talk compost. This is a peat reduced compost here, and it's mixed up especially for tubs and containers. It has feed in it which slowly releases, and I have some of that feed here. This is it's like little balls of feed, and what happens is the case on this breaks down over a period of time, usually about 3 months on this mix, and it breaks down and just slowly releases the fertilizer. So it's a slow release fertilizer. It comes in many different forms and there's many different makes of it. This is the loose form. You can get little pellets of it as well. This is brilliant, but through the summer you will want to top up the feed with liquid feed as well in containers, just to give these very hungry plants that you're putting in there a little boost. Also mixed in there is something like, well, it's little crystals. I don't know if you can see that. And those little crystals, they swell up into a little gel, and it looks a little bit like wallpaper paste. So if you've got a multi-purpose compost at home and you see all these little bits of, looks like slug trails or little bits of wallpaper paste on top, it's actually this gel swelling up with the water. It helps to hold the water in and helps maintain moisture in the compost. And these are all added to a lot of your multi-purpose composts. So as I said, this is peat reduced. If you use peat free, which I highly encourage for obviously environmental reasons, if you use peat-free compost, just check the tub more for watering, because they do drain more freely, but they're brilliant for root growth. Peat-free compost is amazing for good root structure. But we don't have any peat-free here at the moment. This is just peat reduced. So I'm going to use this for now. So, okay, so we've got the holes, we've got the gravel, now the compost is going in. And what I want to do is just put some in and bring it up to about, I don't know, 3 to 4 inches from the top. So I can then start planting my plants in. And what I'll need to do is, when the compost is finished, I need a little lip. I'll need the level of the soil here. I'll need a little lip for the water to gather so it can slowly seep into there when I'm watering it. So what am I now? I'm about 3 inches from the top here. So that'll do. Because the plants I'm going to put in now are going to have compost on them because they're in pots. So that's going to bring it up a little bit. So we're going to start with a centre plant. And I'm actually going to take some compost out for that because I can see the size of it. And this is a Zonal Geranium, a lovely variegated one. Beautiful orange flowers on it. And that's a good centerpiece. So if you're looking at a tub or container that you're going to walk round, you want to put the centerpiece in the middle. It's no good putting a tall plant there. You wouldn't see what was this side, would you? So if you put it in the middle and then put your smaller and work your way down, putting your smaller plants out, you actually create more of a piece to look at. So there we go, that's gently put in there. I'm putting the compost around it. I'm not ramming it in there because you just want to make the plant know it's there, not ram that compost in too tightly. It will just compact it too much and make it more difficult for the roots to grow in. So that's the geranium, and to that I'm going to add something to contrast with the yellow foliage. So I'm going to use this non-stop begonia, and these are mocha varieties. The mocha varieties all have purple leaves, and then you've got some stunning flowers, and they just don't stop flowering until the frosts come. So this dark leaf will contrast with the variegation there. So I like my sweet and sour. When it comes to putting your colours in your baskets, don't overdo it with colour, because you can make it look like a little bit like a sweet shop. I always go for 4 to 5 colours. I never go over 5, because as I said, it just gets too much to the eye. So that's one of those begonias there. Then we've got a lovely yellow one here. That'll contrast nicely there as well. So I might stick that in there like that. And then I've got another red and yellow one. So red and yellow. Whew, there we go. Okay, so the red can go in there, just into that, and they'll grow into each other. The good thing is that some might try and swamp the other, but what you can do, you can just get your secateurs and just nip them out, let them grow together and become one as a structure, but just pinch out those little bits that cause problems. So now we've got a bit of colour and interest going into the tub. Now I just want something to hang on the side, just break this sharp edge. These will eventually by themselves, but I'm going to put something called Helichrysum microphylla. Helichrysum microphylla, and microphylla means small leaves, so it's got little leaves. There's larger leaf ones, but this small leaf one, they're hanging around here. This is the end of our stock, so I'm going to put them in as well. Try and keep your workplace nice and neat and tidy. And I'm going to put that in between, so it just comes over the top. Like that, there. And the thing with the Helichrysum is that you can just snip this back as much as you like, because this is a bit of a thug. It will want to take over this tub. So just snip it out with a pair of sharp scissors or secateurs when it starts getting in the way, and it will just produce more growth. So it's not a problem. It does flower, but the flowers aren't what we're after. We're after the effect of the foliage, just to break that edge up. So we'll put that one in the side there. Shoehorn that in a bit. I'm not ramming them in too hard. I'm doing quite gently. And I'm going to do that one there. And I think after this fourth one here, that is enough for this tub. I think probably I would have got away with putting less in here, but I want it to look good instantly. Now, I've got plenty of soil up over those roots. I might just put a little bit in here as well, just to do that. Now to finish off, you've got to give it the gardener's tap. And that just, what I do that for is just the compost that's all loose on the top and I've been pushing around, just shakes it out nice and level. So there we go. That is a planter. Just quickly to talk about feeding. I will feed that, the compost, as we've said, has got feed in, but during the summer months I will top it up with a liquid feed. To start with, I'll use a balanced feed, so that will provide feed for growth and flowers. Then as the season gets going, I want them to flower more and more, so I will go for a high potash feed. That high potash feed will encourage really good, bold, strong flowering. A tomato feed will do. Use that, that's for fruit and flowers, so we're looking at the flowers, so that will be fine. Keep it watered, check it twice a day, even in wet weather, because these leaves will sometimes bounce the water past the pot and miss the actual centre of the pot. But do all those things and you'll have a lovely tub. Oh, just in finishing, any dead leaves, things like that, remove them, and when this geranium finishes flowering particularly, I will deadhead it. So what I will do, I will go down the stem, and I'll just demonstrate on this because I know there'll be more flowers, and I'll just snap the stem off like that. When it's finished flowering, stops it producing seed, and therefore it puts more energy, not into seeding, it puts the energy into flowering. So have a go at that and have some nice tubs during the summer months. Thank you.